doing a mess around.
That's a good one. That's a really good prop for that.
That's a good problem.
We need to get like
Whoa, my hand's gone.
need a whole fleet of, or like just a suitcase of.
Perrier.
Yeah.
If you want to sponsor
Green
us,
props.
Perrier, we will gladly do that.
There's seats behind me.
My God.
Oh, God.
It's movie magic.
Movie magic.
Perfect. Hey, Matt, what movie are we reviewing?
Yeah. So.
Am I really Ben?
Is that you? We have got a container of your blood. No, this week
I get it now.
we're doing The Thing, the original The Thing, which I
No, it's not the original.
No, it's not.
What?
You don't know that?
No.
Enlighten him.
I believe back in the 50s. Was it the 50s?
I mean,
50s, 40s?
I'm fuzzy on when it happened. I just know it happened.
There was a movie called The Thing from Outer Space. And it's based on a novella called
from the
Who
30s,
Goes
right?
There, right?
The novella was from like 38 or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they changed a lot of it. But
Yeah.
there was a creature, it's basically in the Antarctica or the Arctic, whatever.
Yeah.
And there was this creature that attacks these guys by themselves. But there's a woman on this one, so they needed a little female stuff. But instead of it being a shapeshifter kind of thing, it was a creature that looked like Lurch. That,
just a monster.
That monster that was
Okay.
made from like vegetables. It was vegetable based.
Celery Man?
No, that's a little watered down. He had good eyesight, so he's made of carrots. The root of all evil.
Okay, you get the real laughs for that.
A lot of vegetable puns to start off.
Hey, come back to me. It's really light.
They do.
Good piece of wood, too.
Did they remake this movie?
It did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
2011.
the title's actually the same, too. And which is cool. He was a big fan of that. He was a big fan of the novella. Like, he's a cool guy.
They made. Who's a cool guy? What are you talking
Carpenter.
about? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say I haven't seen the new one. I thought
don't
I
think you
assumed
need
this
to.
that the
no.
one we're doing tonight is the one I just assumed was
No.
This is the one.
the only one. But
Well, this is obviously a better movie than the original.
I mean, well, that's not always the case.
Not always.
It just happens
It's
to be in this
different.
case.
It's different. And the original's great.
what year was this? 1982.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll do a little IMDb of
Oh, you
the
got
original
it.
one came
Oh,
out.
okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna read the synopsis. Or whatever.
Oh, we need a synopsis?
Now are we still doing that?
Yes.
Everybody knows
no,
this movie.
we don't have to. I thought you were
Look,
preparing.
man is the warmest place to hide. Go.
All right.
I was gonna say though that I guess to start the movie off.
There's a 2011 one.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you were talking about.
Starring Mary
Actually,
Elizabeth
I was wrong.
Winstead.
It's not called The Thing from Outer Space. It was The Thing from Another World.
Same thing.
1951. Yes. I knew it was something like
Same
that.
thing. You
gonna-
weren't far off.
I actually kind of wanted. Would you guys have wanted what would you think if they didn't show the spaceship at the very, very start of the movie?
I think it would have been a little better.
I think it's actually a
fine.
good idea to have removed that part.
I don't have any problems
remove
with
it?
it.
No.
No.
I'm just saying if
It doesn't
if
do
they
a
had
whole lot.
removed that part.
Well, it's probably-
I just loved the like little slow play mystery that built
Yeah.
at the very start with the dog and the
See, I actually
tracking
didn't
it
really
back.
watch it for the podcast. I just remember it.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the very, very beginning. So there
It
was a
starts
spaceship?
on a shot of a spaceship that goes to Earth.
It's very Predator.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was two things.
Very
That's probably
quickly.
studio influence.
That's the first thing I would have
Because
guessed.
the Predator, they didn't want that with the Predator either. But they told him put a spaceship in it.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, it's cool. Like I remember watching the Predator not at the beginning, and that was always the cool thing. Was like, what is this thing?
Well, I loved
and that's probably why we like the movie Quiet Place.
Yeah.
because they didn't have an explanation.
I love
for
that they found the huge spaceship.
Yeah.
Just imagine though the reveal of that.
it. Yeah,
If you hadn't seen the very
Then it's
the
actually
intro.
shocking.
Yeah.
it was more impactful.
and it adds to the story rather than you're always kind of remembering the spaceship at the very start. But
Nobody
this
really-
is like the only
and
like,
also
nitpick I have.
And also, what was great, I do like the beginning. You know, they're
Very good.
chasing this dog.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so.
You know
good.
what I like? You know, I'm not always a fan of shaky cam, but in the case of the opening shot of this movie, it's so unassuming because it's just a standard handheld shot, and it's like, wow, they really didn't go for any pomp and circumstance on this, and it kind of drew me in because it felt so mundane.
Yeah.
Aside from the scenery, of course.
Yeah. But just literally everything about like why are they shooting this dog? Why are they shooting this dog? and then this like clumsy explosion.
And why are they
sequence.
so bad at shooting this dog?
Like
All right.
they're trying to drop that bomb down on him. It's just like you think it's going to be close to the dog, but it's like a
Aaron?
football field
Yes.
away.
This is going to be a dry read.
A dry read. So are you going to be extra sarcastic, or
No, I'm saying I don't know. This was like a decent synopsis. I'm going to say
are
it.
you, are you telling me you want reverb?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you all the reverb.
Thank you.
I'll bring it down.
Thank you. Number one. Members of an American scientific research outpost in Antarctica find themselves battling a parasitic alien organism capable of perfectly imitating its victims. They soon discover that this task will be harder than they thought, as they don't know which members of the team have already been assimilated, and their paranoia threatens to tear them apart.
Was that good timing? Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Thank you.
Did you make a sound effect?
Did I make a sound effect?
did. It was a
You didn't
scream.
hear it?
No.
Well, why don't I play it again?
It's so faint.
Oh, let me.
It's faint in my...
I can adjust your headphones for you.
Mine's good.
Okay, that's fine.
I will adjust your headphones.
Yeah, no. Once you start to kind of put the mystery together, and you see like, and they don't waste a ton of time showing the like charred, burnt, melted Two-Face
Dog.
No, not the dog. Not there yet.
No, like the dog thing.
This is after the dog.
Oh, yeah.
This
Yeah,
is where
this
they
is post-dog.
bring the body back from the little lab.
Did it already like infestate with the other dogs? Remember that part?
Well, that I
dog
was
got
getting
with
to,
the other
I'm
dogs
getting to,
after that.
I'm
Oh,
getting
okay,
to the
sure.
dog part. We could talk about that
This
too.
is from a guy who doesn't watch the movie recently.
Whoa.
Too gross.
The dog mutation scene is like, I think there's one scene that's better, but that one was awesome when you get all the dogs like
Yeah.
growling at the
How do you
one in
think
the
they
middle.
trained that dog to act so ominously? Because he was very. He didn't feel like a dog.
He's professionally trained. He's
Because that dog was very good at acting not much like a dog. Know what I mean? The way he was walking.
it
And
was
sorta-
actually early Andy Serkis.
Was it Sprocket from Fraggle Rock?
It very well could have
Maybe
been.
at some parts.
It was actually Frank Oz in that dog.
Yeah.
that dog mutation was
So gross.
That was
But
intense.
You know what part of it is? Not just the visuals, but the sound effects.
yeah. Oh
The
yeah.
sound is... and everything was practical.
Yeah.
Holy freaking Jesus.
Well, and all those like wiggly tentacle things and stuff, and
Only way it could have been worse is if it had lipstick.
They did.
Yeah. And holes.
They did a lot. Stop. They did a lot of the like reverse out where they would have it like over. I'm sure that's how they shot it, where they would have all the tentacles like around somebody and then
Oh,
they
yeah.
pulled it back. But
Yeah.
they would flip it.
That's the
so
only
that
way to do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I loved it. So
You okay
good.
there? Did you get on the camera?
Sorry, he's a little.
Watch out for
he's
that
a little
mic.
flustered.
Whoa, calm down. Wait a minute, Matt. Let me look at your eyes. Yeah. You're a thing, all right.
He's a
I'm
noun.
an imitation.
The
But
crew-
I mean, the whole idea. I actually think we could talk forever. I think about the practical effects and the
Suffice it to say, they're top notch.
yeah. But I actually think the story part of it is what makes this movie so good.
Yeah, I
is
think so,
too. Yes.
the paranoia aspect of it, that anybody at any time and
Thank you for
everything
using
keeps,
that word.
keeps escalating.
That is exactly what this movie is.
He
It's,
does a good job at that.
you know what I like about John Carpenter? He paints in broad strokes, and he doesn't zero in on any one particular thing, and he lets your imagination run wild.
Exactly. And I think it's kind of the Kubrick mind of filmmaking, but also, not just painting broad strokes, but also not spoon feeding you.
Yeah, there's
Like-
a lot of mystery in this movie.
Absolutely. And I think if they would have taken away that, it's probably his choice not to have the flying saucer. It'd be
Yeah,
more,
I mean,
more
It's not the
imagination.
biggest sin.
No, but I'm saying I'm sure that's probably not one of his choices.
Yeah.
Well, what I think what they do is they allow for it's kind of this movie has like this they set it up very well to then how the characters behave when it's like when he shoots. Oh, he was a human. He shoot when he shoots the what's the one guy, the dog guy, because
Yeah.
he goes to punch him. It's like, oh well,
he
was,
doesn't go to punch him. He goes to stab him with a scalpel. And then McCready shoots him down.
Right. So he goes to shoot, and it's like, oh, he was a human. But everything before that is like this alternating between really like it feels very real, the decisions they're making to try and manage this ridiculous situation.
And the,
but
beauty,
then,
the beauty part is that even as a viewer, we're not sure who's who.
right.
Yeah. Well,
It's
I
not
guess
spelled
what's
out.
interesting.
But then at every single point, it's like, okay, how are they going to manage this? And then it's like, just an explosion of just something absolutely ridiculous happens. Like all of a sudden, this guy's stomach becomes a giant mouth and eats.
Yeah.
Like
that seems rough.
just becomes ridiculous.
What such imagination.
Yeah,
thought
I wrote that down.
We thought it was a great imagination. This is even better. And they
Even
actually
better.
stole from this.
Well, and we just did all of those Jim Henson movies too, and it's like, think of how I wrote down pretty creative gross outs and like each one is kind of different. That they realized, like, oh yeah, so in this scene we're gonna have, his head is gonna come out and it's gonna look like him, and that's become a spider, and it's gonna grow these little like eyeball things.
Do you know what's
stalks?
You know what's interesting about this movie? Is, like most of these like iconic horror movies, the monster or whatever it is very identifiable.
He's like silhouette wise.
Yeah, I mean, like what the predator looks like, what the alien looks like, what Jason and all those different characters look like. This it's like I'm gonna be the Thane monster, and you can be whatever the hell. You can just be you.
Yeah.
Like showing up. There's no. I mean, there's obviously like the mutation stuff, but there's nothing. There's nothing that says this as the same. That's what's creepy about it.
Yeah.
It's not identifiable. It's not iconic. That's part of the story, but also it's. I mean, it's iconic, but it's not.
You don't know. I mean,
It's not
part of
iconic in
the
terms
part
of
of the fear is
visibly.
it could be anything. Like
And
that's kind of what you remember.
And it works.
Well, and I thought at the first time I watched through it, I thought the one scene with Wilford Brimley when he was like
Diabetes.
on the computer, the computer was spitting out like probability of world.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a sci-fi.
It was
reach.
really like
Exposition.
Shoved in your face. But I do think what was communicated there is really important to like raise the stakes of what's like if it leaves this place, like it
It's
could be
pretty much like the
catastrophic.
alien plot.
Yeah.
I would have liked that scene to have been done in handwriting with a bunch of mathematical scribbles around it, so it could actually. It's just less compelling when a computer says it.
Yeah,
I think
well, I
what-
bet they thought it was cool at the time.
Sure.
Like,
I think good horror works especially when there's isolation. When you're isolated.
oh
They're in the
yeah.
middle
This
of
movie does
nowhere.
it the best.
Yeah.
They're they can't escape this thing, just like an alien.
They even
They're in
say there's a
space.
storm that comes too that
Yeah.
makes it even less
Yeah,
likely.
isolation. I
Yeah.
think is what is scary.
There's no way out.
Yeah.
Even if they win, they're probably gonna die.
Yeah, and that's probably what happens in the end.
Maybe.
So I don't remember the lighting, but I guess there was a certain way they light the characters who were the thing. Who
Oh
were,
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know
in
if I
the-
noticed that.
in the eyes. I guess I don't know. There was that the way you light eyes with the little like light, the little bulb, like the little like
Talking the donut bulb.
the donut. Yeah, where they get the reflection of your eye a certain way, and if you watch it, you can see how everybody else is lit. So there's a little subtly the way they light that this character is it, or the thing.
If that's so, I can't believe I didn't
Yeah.
notice.
Well, it's subtle.
Wow.
And then I watched the making of this years ago. Also, that shot of the wide shot of them standing around the spaceship, they were just on a little white board.
Yeah.
And that's just a matte painting that they photographed, and
Yeah.
they're a little whiteboard in Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like they did this as pickup shots.
That's awesome.
It's like
Nice.
that's how beautiful matte paintings were.
It
Matt,
was good looking.
You had such a good career back then.
I did.
All your paintings.
I did so much work in Hollywood, guys.
You did the Wizard of Oz, right?
No, that was another Matt.
Oh, sorry.
It's our calling.
sorry for
when
making
we're
the
born.
mistake.
Matt's all they do is paint. Like that shot. That
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
shot.
there it is.
Yeah.
Can I say
Ugh.
what my favorite part of this movie is?
What?
Kurt Russell's hat.
It's a very
his
manly
Yosemite Sam
That just
cowboy hat.
hangs around most of the time.
I
love
hate
that.
you.
I say, you're the thing.
Oh, I hate you. Tarnation. What in tarnation?
Do you think that was his selection, or was that like a set person? I don't know.
I don't know.
That was
It
my
seems
grandpa's
like an
favorite
odd
character. Yosemite
inclusion.
Sam. I hope you know that.
What?
You-
Yosemite Sam was
he
his favorite?
Yeah, he goes, I hate you. He
I
loved
think
that
for
line.
my dad, it was between him and Foghorn Leghorn.
Foghorn Leghorn's pretty funny, but Yosemite Sam, you watch him, he is pretty funny.
Oh yeah, especially that one where he has to be nice to Bugs and he keeps falling through that trap door.
Yeah. Yeah. Him as a pirate's fun too. Those ones are fun.
He had just those little legs. It was really funny.
All right, let's
Yeah.
pivot back to horror.
Yeah. So remember Yosemite Sam got possessed and got that chainsaw and started hacking up people. You should get back
That
to
episode's banned now.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's called Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam.
The highest grossing.
Oh, very, very well done. Very well done.
So the two things I have,
hate that rabbit.
the two things I've got on this page are how much fire there is in the which I think is a really good from a color standpoint. Is kind of
Yeah.
cool when you juxtapose the orange.
Well,
with-
yeah, it's about opposites a lot of
Yeah.
the time in this movie.
Yeah.
Because you got your ice and your fire, and you got your things and your not things.
So they had flamethrowers and stuff, right?
a lot of flamethrowers.
So that's an interesting trope. That's an alien in Aliens. But if you look at it, wow, God, that's what we should do. That's what we should do for Spook of Madness.
What?
There's an old movie called Them.
Oh, the ants?
The Ants, which is
Ooh,
actually
I've
really-
never seen that.
Which is a really good horror
Ooh,
movie
maybe
that
we do
Aliens
that.
is based on, but they use flamethrowers in that too.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I mean, like
Man's
that's a
most primitive
horror
tool solves all
you know.
problems.
Everyone likes
The flame, like the moth to the flame. Slave Spider-Man.
But I think it to your point, Aaron, when you the opposites of like fire and then the ice. The one scene that I thought was really good that really triggered the paranoia point and infighting and stuff was when McCready comes back and he's got the bomb when he comes back
Yeah.
through like from being out in the ice the whole time. I thought that was Kurt Russell like just nailed it. Like that was what
Kurt Russell always nails it.
yeah when he was surfing when he was escaping from L.A. He really
Don't
nailed
talk
it.
Also-
smack about that scene.
Also, when he played the Carpenter,
Oh, yeah.
I think John Carpenter always nails it.
Way to hit it on that.
The Thing. So interesting effect how they did the opening title.
Oh, yeah.
So it's an actual practical effect. They took paper
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and the way they did it, it burned through.
It's not going to show on this trailer, I don't think, but in the actual movie.
Yeah, so they did the title, The Thing, and they did it and it burned. They set it off to naturally burn through.
Actually,
with that-
opticals were
yeah.
still physical.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
I miss stuff like that. I kind of still want to do stuff like that for us. But, you know, it's time-consuming and expensive.
It is.
Yes.
On the subject of music,
Boom.
Ennio Morricone, the great, needs no introduction. But one thing I love about all of John Carpenter's music is his own little musical stuff that he puts in there. It's so stripped down, but it always nails the tone perfectly. You know what I'm saying?
It's that Carpenter again.
Just his little, in this movie, just his little synth dum-dum. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Then Law and Order just took that noise.
Oh, yeah. It's on my soundboard.
Well, it kind of has like a. What is it? Halloween. Halloween kind of has
Well,
that
it-
kind of
Same time frame. Synths were in vogue.
Yeah, but it really works for this, especially because everything else is so.
But did you
restrained.
know that if I were to direct a movie here and now, I would hire John Carpenter to do the soundtrack?
You stupid.
No
he
questions
did
asked.
the new Halloween, right? Didn't he do
I
the
don't
new?
know.
I'm
He
pretty
did.
sure he did it, and I love
He
the
did.
new Halloween.
He
Did
scored
he?
a new one.
I
yeah.
probably knew that and then forgot.
Yeah,
You did forgot.
Thank you.
Don't you remember? You're Peter Pan.
Oh, all these years.
You become a pirate.
Matt, you know who?
Hey, you know what it is today, by the way?
What?
It is National Talk Like a Pirate Day. Yeah.
is it?
And
It
here I
is.
have been the whole day not
We
knowing.
should be doing a movie about pirates.
There's only like 4,
I.
and only one of them is good.
No, you like the second one, right?
Well, that's the one he liked.
Oh, that's the only one. The scene. So let's talk a little bit about the blood scene, just because
Oh yeah, yeah.
the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
little effect where it congeals into that, like it goes, the one that jumps out, and like pops out.
Oh my God.
I like jump back.
That
I
was
totally forgot that
so
happened.
Oh,
But you
good.
knew that was gonna happen.
I totally forgot that. No, I
so
thought
good.
it would just like bubble,
But
bubble
that-
up, and then you'd see the other guy doing something. And this was like, became a thing.
But that binary switch of it turning to that instantly was like, how they do that?
and
I don't know.
it
So
looked
good.
very real. It was like,
Like it was like off and on.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was like like practical.
yeah, it was awesome. And then
it was
the
inexpensive too.
the transformation of the guy in the chair too, and then
All the other
when
guys
you,
like, oh,
and you
shit,
add,
oh,
and you
shit.
add the like the fear factor,
Ah.
of, like imagining
Yeah.
you're tied to him too.
Don't need
yeah.
any weird camera movements. It's just all very unsettling on its own.
the flame
And then
didn't
it's not
work.
working.
Yeah.
And, oh, it's such a good
Yeah.
scene. And when you talk about isolation, not only are you're tied up, your weapons isn't working, and just the room they're in because you've spent so much time in
Can't
it.
find
Up
your
till that,
cowboy
you're
hat.
like, oh, can't.
So
But they're in this small like utility closet room, and you can feel being stuck in there with them, like you're
Absolutely.
suffocating.
Very,
Yeah.
very closed in space.
what a good movie.
Yeah, I forget how good it is every time I watch it, and then every time I watch it, I'm like, whoa.
And the fact they actually shot in that climate. Where was it? Did they actually go to an ice?
That I don't know.
I don't remember.
It seems real. That's about all that matters to me.
It's probably Norway. They shoot everything in Norway.
They did have Norwegians.
Oh.
They did mention
They did.
Norwegians
They
like
did.
4
Yeah,
times
they
in the
did.
movie.
And at one point,
Kurt Russell mistakes them for Swedes.
Yeah.
So do you know what's really good? Borky, borky, borky the thing.
Thing from another word.
In the word, Berkey, in the Berk. The thing from another word. I don't know how you did that. Was pretty good. So I like when they go to the Swedes or the
Norwegians.
Norwegians, bork, 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 and they go to their base, and you just paint the picture of what happened.
Yeah.
Like,
You
that's
piece
so
it
It's like a
together.
true crime podcast.
Yeah, it's like that's great. You know.
Yeah. I was gonna say that the very as good as the start
Show don't
was in
tell.
the middle, the end is a good
Oh, so good.
like. How are we gonna wrap this up? We're gonna blow everything up, but before that, we're gonna show just how big this monster's gotten, and the floor starts
It's like
rumbling.
by that point, it's a composite of all the things it's assimilated.
yeah, it's so
Well,
so cool.
if it assimilates something, it can exist somewhere else, can it?
Well, the movie says that each little part of it that gets cut off or separated from the main thing becomes its own little piece, an own little organism. So,
Right.
Like a worm. How
kinda
can worms do that?
probably because they're really smart. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm no
they went to
scientist.
college.
Oh, see, only my ass went to college.
My, how the worms have turned.
What were you saying about this, Matt? We've gotten you
So
off
I like
track.
the end. I like the end.
The very
too.
end, just the very end. I thought was great.
And then it's like
and-
they're just by themselves, looking at each other and hoping one of them is not the.
And they're essentially at that point because the two of them were set up the entire movie to be like
The last
rivals, you know, and constantly suspicious of one another. But then Kurt Russell's like, it doesn't matter much anymore anyway. Like we can't do anything about it at this point. So what does it matter?
Do you
I
know-
thought that was a good like. Let's just tie this off at the very end.
And you don't know which one is which. If they killed the whole thing.
Explosion was cool. Whatever they did for that.
They probably used fire. I mean,
A little bit of fire.
What's also cool is that actor who played the other guy who survived. He's the voice of Goliath in the Gargoyle cartoons.
He's in a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah,
in
he's in,
Platoon.
like
I
every
just
John
watched it.
Carpenter
He was
movie.
in Platoon.
Oh yeah. It's you guys know the fan theory about Childs being the thing at the end of the movie.
What is it?
Well, it's let's see if I can remember it correctly, but when McCready hands in the drink, some people speculate that it's not actually alcohol, it's gasoline from when he was doing the Molotovs a few minutes earlier. And he wanted to see if the thing would know the difference between alcohol and gasoline.
Wow.
I don't know if I buy it, but it's interesting.
That's a good. That would be it.
And that's why he laughs.
If you could piece that together, that's an see the shot of him doing it.
Somebody asked Kurt Russell that, and he apparently poo-pooed it, so
Oh.
that might be a Blade Runner Harrison Ford
Yeah, I was
moment.
about to say the same thing. It's like, no, I wasn't a replica.
No.
One thing.
But it makes sense in the framework
Yeah.
of the story. It worked. That's why it's a good ending, because you can impose your own ideas onto it, but it doesn't ruin it any one way.
Yes.
Anything else?
So did you see the sequel to this?
No.
Which is like a prequel to it, I guess.
Prequel.
It's supposed to take place in the suites.
They don't need.
the-
I don't.
Oh, I know that John
disappointed there's more
Carpenter-
movies around about this.
But it's all CGI. None of it's
Yeah,
practical.
it sounds stupid.
Yeah.
There was a separate sequel written by John Carpenter that got scrapped. And I think it had McCready and Childs survive. But I guess
called
it's not
Matt.
canon if it didn't get made.
So here's another thing. How do we know that's like the dog? They could say the dog could have. There could have been another one that got away.
Oh,
And it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
the
Oh,
dog.
yeah.
That was my big question. Thank you for reminding me. The dog came from the Norwegian camp. Why did the dog guy think it was his dog? The dog that in the very beginning of the movie was running from the Norwegians' camp. And the dog guy at our camp thinks it's his dog. Why?
because maybe his dog ran off and it interacted with it.
I didn't even think too much
They
about
ex-
it.
but
It's not a big thing, but
apparently
it left me
But
wondering.
apparently the prequel explains that. It leads off before it turns to a dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then all my fears have been put to rest.
I don't think I want to watch it.
I mean, you do you, buddy.
Well, maybe it didn't come all the way from the camp. Maybe it was something else that then became the dog that like it kind of moved.
What I mean to
from
say
the
is it's weird that it sounds like it would have to go to the American camp, then go away, then come back. Or it could just be impersonating a random dog, and the dog guy is stupid and doesn't know his own
I just
dog.
assumed that the dogs get to roam outside
That
during the
could be.
day, and
That
that
could
one of them
be.
got like kind of far, and they knew that it. Well, I don't know.
I don't know wolves very well, but minus 40 sounds pretty bad even for a dog.
That does sound bad. Yeah.
Anywho, not a big deal.
That is a good call.
you're
though.
right.
I didn't know.
Somebody will be in the comments like, actually, there's this thing you didn't know about, and you're stupid.
Actually, you are stupid.
There were
I mean, that's not wrong.
In fact, that wasn't a thing. That was a that.
Well done. Absolutely well done.
I should have
nailed it.
the first part. I should have just walked off.
All right, let's rate the movie.
Wait.
Please clap.
Haven't used that in a while.
That's my.
Just for you. Just for you.
You saved it.
Yes, and
Yeah.
do we want to rate the movie
Yeah, let's
now?
do that.
Okay.
Uh,
I never go first. I'll
Ben,
go
why
first.
don't you go? Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
I'm going first. I give this movie an 8 out of 10. It's not perfect, but what movie is? But it is high on my list.
The
Of,
Godfather's perfect.
it's pretty close to perfect. But,
I give it an 8 too.
oh, you do.
Yeah.
Original.
Fuck you.
I give it easily a 9.
Okay.
Easily. Yeah.
Why, Matt?
Why don't you tell us?
Because it was original.
Because I like dogs.
Like, no, there's a remake.
I like dogs.
You didn't even know it was existed before.
Yeah.
Today, Junior.
It was a
It's
good movie.
reference. No, what I like about this movie is that it's I mean, it has all the different horror tropes, but what pushes it over the top really is the effects and the practical stuff. It is just so wildly memorable, those little moments, but then also what you were saying, Ben, that it's not reliant on this very specific silhouette that you remember, and I think that's what adds so much to it that you take away is like I don't really remember why this was all that's this is why it was scary. It's because
think The
literally
Blob has a good
anything
silhouette?
could become this ridiculous gross monster.
Like Jack.
So
No, the
agree
blob
with you.
silhouette, is that memorable?
No. It's hard. Unless it's coming out of a movie theater or something like that,
Yeah, but then it's a movie theater silhouette. Checkmate.
It just looks like pudding.
all right, 8, 9. Next week we're gonna have some sort of vote.
We'll toss up.
figure it out in the next couple days.
right.
But then after that is the first week is Spook of Madness, right?
Spook of Madness 3. Looking forward to it.
This is gonna be it, and we got 5 movies.
5 weeks of October.
Spook of Madness this year. This is gonna be awesome.
We're gonna get a cease and desist or two.
Tell me about it.
One of us isn't making it through the month.
Yeah.
Who's it gonna be?
Hopefully not your producer.
Yeah.
Cease and Desist, the horror movie of all time.
And last thing, Ben, do you want to tell people about the thing they should go watch?
Oh yeah.
The Thing.
Oh well,
Oh, we just talked about
yeah,
that.
we've
What
been-
about that other thing?
we've been over that.
You get to tell them. I don't care. I made it. An
Self promotion is important, Ben.
I made a
Fan redub of the Vincent Price Radigan song "World's Greatest Criminal Mind," and another song from that movie too. So you can watch it on my channel, Ben Philippi,
How do you spell that?
with words.
B-E-N.
BENPHILLIPPE.
Thank you for spilling the beans.
Yeah.
Anyways, they do a Vincent Price impression, so you go check it out.
Yeah, definitely go check it out.
Yeah.
All right. Next week we'll do a vote. We don't know what we're gonna do yet, but
Okay,
follow
well-
all of our stuff. Go on Patreon. Go on Facebook, YouTube,
And watch us.
Yeah.
All right.
Cease and Desist.